What's Hot Now.
Drinking for January, but you certainly are.
I never said I wasn't drinking for January.
I thought we had a pact.
No, we didn't.
Did not have
Why
a
are you
pact.
not drinking for January?
I was trying to cleanse a little with kombucha, whatever.
yeah.
I didn't know.
Kombucha's been drinking. We were drinking last night.
Oh, you have been drinking. Oh, so interesting.
We're on day 2 now.
So you're the only one who's
Yeah, that you're singling me out now.
No,
I'm
you're
sad.
singled me
I'm gonna have to steal those.
Well, on a better note, I'm just glad that Hoda's here. I love her. She's my
Hoda's
favorite.
the best. Hoda is the best. She is everything that you see on television is her. She's one of the kindest, funniest, smartest ladies around.
And joyful.
And joyful.
She's pure.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel like you know her. I don't know her that well, but you feel like you know her and you're like you're best friends with her.
Yeah, exactly.
So can we all be best friends?
I know. We'll try. All right. Listen, I'm so excited about the Super Bowl. It's less than a month away. Halftime show has just gotten better because Beyonce will be joining Coldplay. Alone was enough for me because I think he does the best show. But and you called this, Lance. I have to say.
You better believe it. All please start listening to me. I predict everything.
You're pretty smart on this.
It's already laying itself out. We have Coldplay, Bruno Mars, Beyonce.
You think there should be more?
It's gonna be a medley of the best performances of the past. That's what I think this,
So what's
and
your
which they
prediction?
should do. I think Justin Timberlake's gonna come out. I think Paul McCartney. I think maybe a little U2. You're going to see a whole medley. Yeah, they have to. It's the 50th Super Bowl. You need to do that.
Yeah.
It's like you hear it first from Lance Bass.
Yeah. The only thing that would make it great is if NSYNC showed up.
Well,
now
yeah.
Make it happen.
A little NSYNC Aerosmith
You're
rendition.
part of it, so
That's
you're part of the 50 years.
I'm available, Super Bowl. I'm available.
Former American Idol star Clay Aiken tuned into the premiere episode of the show's final season on Wednesday night of American Idol. Did you guys watch by any chance? Are you watching? So then he starts tweeting about it, and apparently he was not impressed by what he saw. He tweeted, "It's very clear now that Simon Cowell was the reason American Idol was a hit. I've watched root canals more entertaining than these judges."
Yikes.
Yeah, and they did a couple more sort of along that same,
I think Clay did not get the memo that this is the last season of American Idol because he's obviously auditioning to be
Do you
Simon
think
Cowell.
that's what he
on the
was
panel.
trying to do?
I think so, and I actually agree with Clay Aiken on this one. I do.
You don't talk about my girl J-Lo.
No,
Do not start beef with my girl J-Lo.
I didn't say anything about J-Lo, but
I love you,
saying what's missing from this panel, they're too kumbaya. They're so sweet. I liked Simon on the panel because it was, but it was also
show
very.
put Aiken on the map. You don't then go piss
That's what I'm
on the
saying.
show.
And first of all, J-Lo ain't bothered by him because I didn't even know Clay Aiken was around like that to be making no comment. Right? I didn't know he was out there like that.
He ran for Congress.
I didn't know that.
He ran
Broadway
for Congress
and stuff like
after
that.
this was done. Broadway.
Did he?
No, he didn't win.
He lost to Ruben Studdard.
Right, he came in
Better
second.
in that
Yeah.
picture. That picture.
But he
is
then-
scary.
Congress to Ruben
No.
Oh.
It's American.
I was like, he
Yes,
really
he
do a
lost
bang.
Congress, yes.
So now I don't feel bad about my Beyonce slip-up. If you thought those two ran for Congress.
Right.
Actually, Aiken later clarified the reason for his rants. He says it's because he loves the show. And if you love something, then it's okay to be critical of it. That because you know how good it could
else
be.
is on Twitter. Why can't he?
Well, anyway.
Well, I love this show, and sometimes y'all get on my nerves.
Stop it. We do not.
All right, then.
Okay. Wait. We'll be the panel. I think, you didn't get the golden ticket, Yamanika. I think you need to go now.
Well, I run the world.
All right. Moving on. You've heard of that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Cute show. Well, Ben Carson is taking some heat for asking a fifth grade class in Iowa. He really asked this question, who's the worst student? And immediately these kids put up their hands and they pointed to their classmate in front of a crowd of 500 people, which obviously was an awkward moment. Well, wait a minute, just so you can hear the whole story. Carson later met with this boy named Seth, and Seth said, look, my feelings were not hurt by this. And his campaign tweeted the pair bonded over shared experience as young kids, because Carson said when he was in fifth grade, he was called by the other students the dumbest kid in the class. And he went on to be a neurosurgeon. So what he was trying to do with Seth was say, whatever they're saying about you, however you feel right now, you can do great things. It's just the way he did it.
But you know what he did? I don't like shaming. He publicly shamed this kid. What he could have said is, if any of you are the worst student in the class, look at me. He didn't have to point to all eyeballs.
I know that's what he
And that kid, you know what? I give him a lot of credit.
I do too.
I give that kid a lot of credit. He's the smartest kid in my eyes because he has a little wherewithal.
But you know what? When I was in school, all you wanted to do was get picked on. I would have been like, yeah, pick me. I'm the worst. Yay! I'm popular for the day. Because kids like attention sometimes. Sometimes we think
negative
but that's really
worse as an adult. But sometimes this kid is like, yeah, I'm the baddest kid that's around.
I think kids can be meaner than adults, especially at that age.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
I
those
think
are really mean adults. So.
No, I think
Well, I mean, it was a dangerous tactic for sure.
Yeah.
But the end result was, I'm finally going to sign with Ben Carson here, but the end result was actually good. I mean, he had that connection with him, and now that kid will feel special, I think, and maybe do something better with his life. Who
Well,
knows?
and hopefully that'll be the case. All right, switching gears now. A community in Texas is questioning the judgment of a sheriff who hired a convicted killer. The technician, Rafael Macias, had been working on the sheriff's department radio system as a contractor for 10 years. And then in 2011, the sheriff, whose name is Todd Preby, took office and hired him full time. Well, about 6 months ago, the sheriff found out the circumstances around this killing, and it turned out that the ex-con, he had killed his then girlfriend, live-in girlfriend, and dismembered her body and tried... Yeah, I know. And tried to hide the parts. He later admitted to it. He was sentenced to 40 years in prison and was released after 13 years for being a model prisoner for good behavior. See, now, give me a break, I'm hearing from the audience. The sheriff says, wait a minute, the sheriff says he may not have hired him. Actually, if he had known the circumstances around the killing, he might not have hired him whenever he did, 2011. But he looks at the employee as, in his words, a success story, as somebody who has turned his life around, and he feels that it was the right decision. What do you guys think?
I think the sheriff did a good job. Who wouldn't you want watching this guy but a sheriff? So he's working for someone that protects our town. So he's on the constant eyeballs of people that protect the town. So why wouldn't you want him there versus out anywhere else if you have a problem with him and what he did? Obviously, it was very bad.
I would rather have him
Very
in jail
gruesome.
where he belongs. He took somebody's life.
So the circumstances of the case.
He's sentenced for that.
He did his time, right?
No, absolutely, but you know, he killed someone, and for me, what I can't get over is you can say it's a crime of passion, you murder somebody, and then you go the extra step to dismember, and you know, it's just disrespectful in my opinion, and somebody lost their life, so he don't need to get a job and get praised.
Do you don't believe that you don't believe in redemption? That if you've taken somebody's life, you have no right to come back into society
Well,
to
let
redeem
God
yourself?
forgive him, but you know what, in terms of me, I don't want him to go out and have that kind of experience. This person that he killed is not doing that. They're laying in a grave right now.
but
I mean, he can't have a job the rest of his life. I mean, you want him to be on the streets living in a car? I mean, you have to give forgiveness
Here's the
at
thing.
some point.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Murder's very serious.
Murder's very serious, but there's nothing we can do about it. He's already out. So where is he now? He's under the watchful eye of the police and sheriff's department, and hopefully not doing anything. Obviously, working very hard to redeem himself.
I believe in forgiveness.
it is a success story. You know, you talk about all these people that leave jail, felons. They're rehabbing him. He's obviously a success.
Exactly.
Hopefully, obviously not an excusable murder or crime at
let him
all.
out early for
They
good
let him out
behavior,
early,
so
but this is a success
There are
story.
kids that do
you know?
reform themselves, but when we talk about murder and dismemberment, to me, I don't play them kind of games. But if y'all want to hire him, hopefully he can get a second job from y'all, because he ain't working at my establishment.